Hi everyone, thank you very much for joining me on Wednesday today. Gosh, you lose track of days, don't you, in this lockdown. Anyway, I hope you're all keeping well and looking forward to tonight's class, which is a nice kind of mix of lots of different parts of the body. Will get well stretched tonight, so hopefully you'll enjoy it. As always, throughout the session, listen to your body. Only do what feels right at the time, and enjoy yourself. So let's get moving. We will start lying down and just getting yourself nice and comfortable on the mat, lying whatever way works for you today. So either straight out or with your knees bent, or maybe you like to have the soles of your feet touching your knees open, whatever works for you. And let's just begin to come into the moment, just leaving aside everything that's going on in your life and in the world. Leave that outside the door. Remove all of your roles and responsibilities from yourself. For the next hour, this is just about you rejuvenating yourself by connecting your mind with your body through your breath. Thinking about the breath really being like a string that controls the kite that is your mind. So if your mind is always bouncing around the place, being really busy, your breath can help to settle it, keep it still, and bring a bit of calmness. So let's begin to turn inwards, just becoming aware of your connection points with the mat, and really feeling how the earth is holding you, supporting you, allowing your body to yield to that support. So just letting the earth hold you. And getting that sense of comfort as you're being held. Totally supported by the earth. And as we breathe in through our nose, into our belly, and out through our nose, let's just really begin to tune into that breath. Counting the inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Holding it for a second. And then the exhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. And holding it for a second before we begin the process again of inhaling and exhaling. And noticing that top and bottom of the breath, that little moment of stillness between the inhale and the exhale, a moment of suspension. And let's see if we can make our exhale just a count or two longer than our inhale. counting in your own time with your own breath. Everybody's breath is totally unique to you. And listening to the sound of your breath, keeping every other part of you still, your eyes gently closed, your tongue touching off the roof of your mouth. And let's take 5 more breaths here like this, totally connected with that breath. And when you're ready, let's just raise our right leg up, bending the knee and hugging that leg into our chest. And moving the foot here in a circle, just getting that ankle starting to wake up. And then bringing it in the opposite direction. And coming to stillness, flexing and pointing the toe. Or the foot, really. And coming to stillness. And then taking the outside of that right knee with the left hand, let's just drag the knee over onto the left hand side. So you're getting a nice little twist. And you can open your arms out. And one more breath here. And coming back to center, letting that right leg come down. Let's bring the left leg up, bending that knee, hugging it into the chest and circling that ankle. Now let's bring it in the other direction. And then pointing and flexing the foot. And coming to stillness, again bringing that left leg all the way over to the right side. And opening out the arms. Feeling that nice stretch in the left arm and shoulder. And coming back to center, let's just hug those knees, both knees, into the chest. Staying connected to the breath. Let's allow the feet to come to the floor, keeping those knees bent. Raising that right leg up. We're going to put the right foot over the left leg, over the left thigh, flexing that right foot. And now we're going to lift that left foot up off the floor. So your calf is parallel with the floor, both feet flexed. If you want to make this a little more challenging, you can bring that left knee towards you. You feel a little bit more of a stretch on that right leg. Remembering if you're feeling any tightness, any tension anywhere, think about directing your breath into that area. Or what's really nice is if it's sore or if it's a little bit tight, put your hand on it and direct your breath there. Just to help to ease it out. And allowing that left foot to come to the floor. Let's just take that over to the other side. So right foot on the floor, raising that left leg up over the right. And then lifting that right foot up off the floor. And it's shout out time. So if you say hello in the little box at the bottom, Alan writes out all the names for me so I can read them out with my very bad eyesight. Hi, Trish and Sarah Jane. Great to have you here from Devon. Hope it's our Exeter. Hope it's treating you well, Maria. Hi, hope Ruby's with you, Maria. And Nuala, great to have you along. Hi, Natalie. Stephen McGrath, excellent to have you here. Nulik, hi, how are you? Fanula, how's it going? Hope you're doing well. And thank you all so much for joining me. It's great to have you all along. And Jean, great to have you here too, Jean. Good to have you all here. Thank you for joining me. I hope you enjoyed tonight's session. And let's bring that right foot down onto the floor and the left foot and hug the knees into the chest once again. And bringing the hands onto the floor, we're going to raise those legs up, straight up in the air. Keeping those feet flexed. And let's just open the legs out and bring them back together. And open them out wide and together. And 3 more times with this. Open out wide. Together, together, and one last time, opening them out wide and bringing them together. Good. And now we're going to bring the right leg down, keeping that left leg up straight, bringing the right leg down almost to the ground. And bring it up again, and let's bring the left leg down. Almost to the ground and up again, and swapping over to the right and to the left, and once more on either side. And hugging the knees into the chest. And from here, beginning to rock. You can cross, so we're going to end up in a sitting position. So you can get there whatever way you want. You might want to roll over onto your side and sit up, or if you want, you can rock yourself up to sitting. And sitting up nice and tall. If you've got a book or a block, you can sit on that. Think about having both seat bones, equal weight on both seat bones, sitting up tall, shoulders over the hips. Finding that space in the spine as we inhale and exhale. And And from here, let's raise the arms up, and we're going to do a nice little flow. So first of all, reaching over to the left, and then straight up, and reaching to the right, and straight up. And let's keep that going for a couple of rounds. Good, thinking about breathing into that space that we're creating in our rib cage. And coming to stillness with our arms in the air, we're going to just change this slightly into a twist. So from here, turning to the left, and arms up, and to the right, and arms up. And let's keep going with that little flow. And coming to stillness, let's take it back and forth. So forward to touch the ground, raising the arms up and bringing them behind us, lifting the gaze, and up, and forward, up, back, and up, and once again, forward, up, back, and up. Good, bringing those hands together now, just clasping them. And let's take that stretch over to the left. Really breathing into that open side. Inhaling to find length, exhaling to go a little bit deeper into that bend. And coming up straight, let's take that over to the other side. And coming up tall, let those arms come down and give them a shake. And from here, just lifting those shoulders up to the ears, pushing them back and dropping them down. Let's bring in a couple of these just to loosen out those shoulders. So up, shoulder blades back, almost touching and dropping down. And once again. Good. And let's move it onto all fours. So coming into your tabletop position, opening those fingers out nice and wide, almost gripping into the mat, keeping the hips over the knees, feet straight out behind you, and the gaze on the mat. And we'll do a couple of spinal rolls, a couple of those cat cows, just to get that spine nice and free. So dropping that belly, tilting the pelvis, opening the chest and lifting the gaze. And then curling from the tailbone all the way through to the tip of the head. And bringing the breath into this, inhaling as we move into our cow. And exhaling as we move into our cat. And let's take one more of these. And coming to stillness, we're going to just step it out to come into our plank. Just engaging the quads in this, having a little micro bend in the elbows. Good, let's take 2 more breaths here. And push it back into our downward dog. And remember, in your first downward dog, have those knees bent. Just pedal those feet until you're ready to come to stillness, wherever that stillness is for you.
Let's take 3 breaths here. And lifting that right leg straight up behind us. Let's keep it up here for 3 breaths. Really feeling that standing leg, that left leg, and bending the knee of that right leg so that you're almost like a dog doing a pee. It's the only description I can think of for it. Opening the hips out. Good. And bringing that leg down. Come down on all 4s and step the right foot forward. And let's inch that left knee back as far as it can go. And come up, putting your hand onto your right knee. So we want our right knee directly over our ankle. So there can be a temptation, sometimes our body likes to have the knee coming in front of the ankle, but you want to have it directly over the ankle. And feeling it here in this quad of your left leg. And from here, let's curl those toes and lift up into a low lunge. Still keeping that knee over the ankle of that right leg. Good. 2 more breaths here. Are we ready for a little bit of burn? Shouldn't have said anything. And let's bring the arms behind us and feel like we're reaching forward with the crown of our head. Good. 1 more breath. And let's reach those arms forward. One more breath. And raise the body up and the arms up. Good. Super. Bringing those arms down either side of the foot and stepping back into a lovely plank. And bringing the knees to the floor, push back into a nice long hair position so your arms are stretched out in front of you, pushing your hips back towards your heels. And making your way back up into plank. Keeping those heels over the toes. Remember that little micro bend in the elbows. Having a nice engaged core, gaze down on the mat in front of you. 1 more breath here. And pushing up into your dog. And of course now you know what's coming. I never know whether that's a good thing or a bad thing. But let's just take a little bit of stillness here. One more breath. And let's raise that left leg up. Really feeling the stretch in that right leg. One more breath here. And then bending the knee of that left leg, opening it up, opening up the hip. Good. And allowing that leg to come back down into dog. And bending both knees, bringing them onto the floor. Open out the feet. And this time lift that left leg up. And allow the right leg to walk back, the right knee to walk back a little bit.
Again, remembering to keep that knee over the ankle as you come up tall. Hands onto that left leg. And inhaling here, feeling space as you inhale, as you really fill your body up, lengthen through the spine. Find that space. One more breath. And curling that back toe, lifting the knee up. Remembering also to try and keep that core engaged. So as you exhale, lifting the pelvic floor, bringing that belly button in and up. Let's allow the arms to come out behind us as we reach that upper body forward. One more breath here. And raise those arms over the ears. Maybe you find this side easier than the other side. And raise the upper body up and the arms up. Just one more breath. And arms down either side of the foot, stepping back into your plank. And knees to the floor, pushing back into your hair. And once again, coming up onto all fours, opening those fingers out nice and wide, curling the toes. We're going to push back up into our dog. And we're going to walk those feet forward up to the top of the mat. So we're in a nice forward fold, having the feet about hip distance apart. Bend the knees as much as you need to have your hands on the floor. And then bending the knees, let's make it all the way up to the top. Hands together in prayer. And we're going to do a couple of swan dives here. So opening the arms out as we sweep down onto the floor. And coming all the way up again. And let's take 3 more of those, opening those arms out as we sweep down. And rising up. And once again, sweeping all the way down. And coming all the way up to stand. Good. Bringing those hands into heart center. And coming to stand lengthways on the mat, turning the feet out and sinking down into a squat. And from here, let's just open our arms out into our goddess pose. Really finding length in that spine as we inhale. Sinking a little deeper. Watch those knees as they want to fall in. And bringing the hands onto the hips. Let's just turn that right leg out fully and straighten the back leg. So we're into our warrior 2. Hips are nice and open. Heels are in a straight line with each other. Let's open out the arms. Trying to have them both at about the same level. Really hard to do when you can't see what you're doing. Keeping the shoulders relaxed. Good, and from here, reaching forward and coming down into a triangle with the leg bent to start with. So you're really opening up the chest here, looking straight in front of you. You can turn that gaze up to the palm. And if you feel like straightening that front leg a little, you can try that now. One more breath here. Keeping the legs where they are. Let's just bring both hands to the floor and step that back leg up and turn the foot sideways to the floor. Good. Having very little weight on your hands, they're just there to help you with your balance. And then bringing that back foot with great control to the floor. Turning both feet sideways again. Let's come up into our goddess. Then we're going to take that to the other side. So bringing your hands onto your hips, let's just organize our feet first, turning that front foot all the way to the front and the back foot turning inwards. Heels in line with each other, knee over ankle. Watch the knee on this pose, it often wants to fall in. Try and keep it so it's covering your pinky toe when you look down. Raising those arms up. Keeping the hips nice and open, shoulders soft. Remembering as you exhale and to lift the pelvic floor, bringing that belly button in and up. One more breath here. And let's reach forward and come into our triangle with our bent knee. And it doesn't matter how far you get down here. So here is fine, wherever works for you is good. Turning the gaze to the upper hand. And if you want to begin to straighten that front leg, do. And allowing both hands to come on either side of that left foot. Let's just raise the right leg up off the floor, turning that foot sideways. Good, having very little weight on your hands, but your knee can be bent if you want it. So again, working with what works for you. And with control, allowing that foot to come to the earth as we return to our goddess pose. And straightening those legs, bringing the hands onto the hips. Let's make our way to the top of the mat as we reach up tall and come into a forward fold. And we're going to step back into our downward dog. And then from here, we're going to begin to widen our legs out. So it's into a nice wide dog pose. And you might really feel a nice stretch in the back here. As you widen out the legs, you'll feel you're able to push those hips back a lot further. Really nice. Stretch this. And then let's begin to walk the hands in towards the legs. Good. And you can bend those knees if you need to as your hands come in nearer. And let's walk those hands over to our left leg and think about reaching our chest towards that left leg. Breathing into that. If you're feeling any stretch in that hamstring, by all means put your hand on it, give it a rub, breathe into it, or in your calf or wherever you might be feeling it. And let's walk those hands around to the center again
and walk them out to our dog, having a nice long stretch in the back. And walking them back into the center, right the way through the feet if you can, bending those elbows as they go past your feet. And let's walk them over to the right. Again, really thinking about your chest moving towards that right thigh. And let's walk it back to the center, and once again walking it all the way out to a nice downward dog with our wide legs. And once more walking them back into the center, and this time when you get to either side of your feet, let's take the hands behind it, us clasping them behind our back and lifting them up over the head. And unclasping the hands, once again bringing them down in front of us as we walk them out into our nice long dog again. And from here, let's just heel toe our feet back to hip distance apart and walk them up to our hands, bending those knees as we come all the way up. Well done. That was a lot of hanging upside down. Okay, and from here, let's just bring those feet together, toes together, heels a little bit apart. Raising the arms up nice and tall. Let's sit back into our chair. One more breath here. And bringing the hands together in prayer. Let's just take a turn to the left, putting your right elbow onto your left leg, just above the knee. And then allowing that right hand to come to the floor, let's raise the left arm up. And bringing both hands together, let's just move through center over to the other side. So right elbow onto left knee, sitting back into your chair. And then allowing that left hand to come to the floor as we raise the right hand up. And bringing that right hand down, having both hands in the center. Let's bend those knees to come all the way up. And bring the hands down onto your hips, just stepping those feet shoulder width apart. Raising the arms up tall, finding that space as we rise up and into our forward fold. And halfway lift, having a nice straight spine, reaching out through the crown of the head. And forward fold, stepping that right leg back as far as it can go, dropping the knee, open out the foot. And let's come up, sinking down into the hips here. And hands down either side of the foot, stepping back into your plank where we'll hold it for a round of breath. And bring the knees to the floor, open out the feet, chest down with those elbows in, coming around into your little cobra. And pushing up through table, up into our downward dog. And raising up that right leg here, stretching it out behind you. Look between your hands and let's see how far you can get it. I bet you'll get it further today than you've got it in the past. Even an inch after all that stretching. Drop that left knee and come all the way up. Hands down either side of the foot. Step that left leg up and let's rise all the way up and take it to the other side into your forward fold. And halfway lift. And forward fold, stepping that left leg back this time, dropping the knee, open the foot, reaching up with the arms and the gaze. Hands down, either side of the foot, stepping back into your plank. And bringing knees, feet, chest, rolling into your cobra, keeping that gaze on the floor in front of you as you push up into your tabletop and up into your dog. Good, and raising that left leg up and stepping it through wherever it lands. If it lands here, that's fine, just help it through. Drop that right knee, open out the foot and rise up. And hands down either side of the foot, stepping that back foot forward. Let's come all the way up. Good. Let's take it one more time on either side. Forward fold. And halfway lift. And forward fold, stepping back into your low lunge. And coming down into your plank. And knees, feet, chest, rolling into your cobra. Pushing up into tabletop, adjusting to go into your downward dog. And stepping that right leg through to come into your low lunge on the other side. Opening the foot, rising up. And hands down either side of the foot, stepping up, coming all the way up and into a forward fold. And halfway lift. And forward fold, stepping that left leg back as far back as it can go, then dropping the knee and raising up. Hands down either side of the foot, step back into your plank. And bringing the knees to the floor, feet, chest, roll through in the cobra and push up into tabletop and downward dog. And lifting that left leg up, looking between the hands, step it up as much as it will go, dropping that back knee and rising up. Hands down either side of the foot, step the back foot forward as we come all the way up, bringing the hands to prayer. And opening them up as we come forward once again into a forward fold, bringing those hands onto the floor. Let's come down onto our knees. Let's push back onto our heels. And let's make our way down once again to meet the earth. Putting your feet on the floor, knees bent. Bringing those shoulder blades underneath you. Let's begin to curl through the spine to rise up into a bridge. And slowly bringing that bridge down And once again, moving back up into the bridge. Let's hold it here for 3 breaths. Thinking about pushing those hips up to the ceiling. Watch those knees don't fall out. And slowly making your way back down to earth, just hugging those knees into the chest, and have a little rotation here, moving with your body however it suggests. And you can keep doing this here, or if you want to take a happy baby pose where you just hold on to the outside edges of your feet, you can do that. Just allowing those legs to move up and down and around and crisscross. And once again, hugging the knees into the chest. And let's allow those feet to come back to the earth as we let the knees fall over to the left-hand side, opening our arms out into a T, and either keeping the knees bent here, or if you like and you have the space, opening those legs out fully and turning that gaze over to your right hand. And if your legs are straight, bend them here. Coming through center, let's take it over to the other side. Again, bending the knees, coming back to center. Let those feet come onto the floor. Bring your hands together and just rub them together to make them nice and warm. And then just place them on your eyes. And you can keep them there, or you can allow your hands to come down by your side, straightening out the legs. If your arms are down, just turn the palms up towards the ceiling. And let's just allow our bodies to absorb all of that work that it's just done. And let's begin to really let go. Letting go your fingers, palms of your hands, the backs of your hands, your wrists and forearms, letting go your elbows and upper arms and armpits, the whole of your arms, just letting it go. Letting go your shoulder blades,
your chest. Letting go your rib cage back and front, your belly and small of your back. Letting go your hips and pelvic area and your glutes, just letting it all go, the whole of your body, just letting it go. Letting go the fronts of your thighs, the backs of your thighs, your knees, your shins and calves. Letting go the tops of your feet, your ankles and heels, soles of your feet and toes, the whole of your legs, just letting it go. Letting go the back of your head, the crown of your head, your forehead, eyebrows, eyes, cheeks, jaws, chin, lips, tongue. Just give yourself permission to totally let go. Drawing your attention to your breath as you breathe in through your nose, into your belly, and out through your nose. Listening to the sound of your breath. And taking time here to be grateful. Grateful for your body, grateful for yourself, grateful for everybody practicing together, grateful for all those frontline workers, and grateful for the good that happened in your life today. I'll be back here on Friday at 6. Thank you so much for joining me. But right now, let's just bring our attention back to our breath. Noticing that wave of the breath as we inhale and exhale, the gentle ebb and flow. And let's imagine that we're walking down a beach. The feel of the sand under our feet. The sounds, the smells, the warmth of the sun on our backs. Let's find a place to settle. With a nice view and connected with our center. Let's rest here.